So I went in the back, talked to Rock, and I was still there at that time. Rock was, he was on that rocket, you know. But I was still at that spot. And I loved talking to him. He was a really nice guy. He was very polite. He was so regular. And I told him that Jake Roberts told me, you got to watch this kid. He said the same thing about Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said the same thing about Diamond Dallas Page in 1993 when he told Jake Roberts. Oh God, I have so many stories about Jake. Mm-hmm. Jake was amazing for me and to me. He was a brother. He taught me stuff that I would never have been able to learn. And it was so funny because without Dusty Rhodes, there is no Diamond Dallas Page. And when Dusty read my book, because he's writing his own book now, and he read it a couple of times, and he said to me word for word, he said, you know, D, I could never understand why you gave Jake Roberts so much props. But after reading your book, I totally get it. You know, he got like, because Jake and I helped each other, you know, and always been there for Jake. He really taught me the psychology, and when people were trying to fuck me, he taught me before it got there.
No doubt.
So he said, watch this guy, Rocky Maivia. Got awesome looks, charisma. He said, I don't know if I want to fuck him or fight him. and Rock popped on that. And I said, I gotta tell you, Rock, I just recently saw you do the Rock guy and this guy. And I've never met this guy or seen this guy. I said, I love how you went back and forth. It was the Rock this, and then you went back to being yourself. And said, I'm really going to enjoy watching your career as it unfolds over the next 20-something years. And I went to leave the day. And as I'm leaving, I'm walking down this hall. Now we're back in this, you know, where I did my first WrestleMania drive in the car, you know. And I'm walking down that aisle, and all of a sudden, and Big Show's behind me. He's 500 pounds, you know, so he's a doorway, you know. And I hear, hey, Diamond. This Big Show looks, I can now see The Rock putting on one of his $1,500 Versace shirts. And I can just see he's rolled into character. And he goes, you know, there's only one People's Champion. And then the Big Show's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I just took that pregnant pause there and I went, you know, Rock, you're right. And you, well, you're looking at him. Oh! Out the door, and Big Show's like, oh my God, that was so great. Oh, he was just rolling. He goes, nobody does that to him. So I went back and woke Kim up. I said, this is how I'm going to show up in the WWF. She's like, what? And I go, wake up, I want you to hear this. This is how I'm going to show up in the WWF. She's like, what are you talking about? You just signed a multi-million-dollar deal in WCW. So it had to be like the end of 98, 99. And I said, well, I'm going to end there. And when I show up there, I said, the whole building's going to be blacked out. Everybody's going to think it's Jericho.
I'm going to end there.
End there, literally. But everybody's going to be, you know, they're going to think it's Chris Jericho. But it's going to go past 15, 20 seconds. JR's going to be going, hold on, we've got a technical difficulty. We think we've got it fixed. And all of a sudden you hear me go, who's the real People's Champion?
Oh, man.
Boom, spotlight hits me.
It would have been good.
It would have went crazy. I'd throw it up. You're looking at him. Bam, boom, 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 boom. I tell Kim at the time, Rock will be hurt or he'll be injured, so he can't be there. Maybe he's doing a movie, I don't know, but he won't be there, so I'll be able to go out there and run roughshod, stealing my gimmick, blah, blah, blah. Now, my life has been boop, 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 boop. Those are the planets all aligning for me. And they all align big time on the 20th of December, which is supposed to be the end of the world or a new beginning. And my whole life, I've either been able to, I made the right move or the wrong move. And when I've followed my goal, when I've followed my vision, every fucking time, it's a grand slam. Like on a whole different level.
I'm the same way.
And I see it,
the same fucking way, I swear to God.
Anyone who can manifest that dream into reality. So everything that's ever happened.
If you could vision it,
you
it could fucking happen.
and it's everyone, but you gotta see it.
Yeah.
And I saw this like so crystal clearly.
Now
let's go.
I'm feeling you right now.
2 years goes by. Now, Shane McMahon is in our locker room. This is it. This is over.
Yeah.
Everybody's so bummed out. The only reason I'm bummed out is because all those people who worked for WCW are about to lose their jobs. I know I got a job, but I'm feeling really bad for them. But now I'm going to get to fulfill my destiny on this other side. So it was a yin and yang for me.
I hear you.
I only came back to do TV to say thank you to the fans. Because I knew a lot of them were never going to watch wrestling again. Because it's like having a New York Yankee and a Boston Red Sox fan.
They're not fans of the WWE.
That's right, man. And if the whole Yankee team went down and there was no more Yankees, and this is the only team they got to watch, the Red Sox, it ain't happening. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's what I knew, was I had to say goodbye to those people.
Yeah.
And thank you, on so many different levels. So when I get there and the whole Stalker angle is brought to me, I'm so excited to be there that I let my dream, my goal, my destiny go. And when I pitched it to Vince and Shane, it was like an afterthought. I was thinking, because, Stalker, are you looking at my wife, by the way? I'm going to stalk somebody else's. Have you seen what she looks like?
It's true.
But I let someone, and I don't blame it on Vince, I don't blame it on Shane, I don't blame it on anybody but myself. My vision was clear. I had it all lined up. If you want to talk about timing and how God lined up all those planets, and I believe God gives you the ability to do that if you keep seeing it, the same way I'm doing with DDP Yoga right now and what's happening there.
It's true. Everything happens for a reason.
And you have to keep following that.
It's true.
And I let it take me aside, which is my own fault. And Rock was actually filming Scorpion King at the time. So how much better did I have it laid out to do People's Champion versus People's Champion if I would have got up and walked away from the table?
Let me ask you a question.
It was a whole different world.
You got hurt and you got a lawsuit and got $1 million, something like that, right?
No. I didn't get hurt, get a lawsuit. That's all bullshit.
Yeah?
No, that's all bullshit.
Wow.
I'll tell you, I had a...
Reason why I asked you that, Kanyon told me that.
Well, then he took that out of context because when I got hurt, I had an insurance policy. Way different than having a lawsuit.
But you got some...
I had $1 million insurance policy against injury, which...
All right, I got it wrong then. I got it wrong. He probably... Got to keep it going.
We did not get the $1 million because the people who were in charge of writing everything down for me did not write down my chiropractor because they didn't think they were real doctors. When this is the most important doctor in my life, Dr. Kenneth West, who put Humpty Dumpty back together so many times it's ridiculous. I'm just assuming he's on my policy. Yeah. But he wasn't, so I never got that.
Paid at all?
Yeah, chump change. Yeah. Not with normal people.
The reason why I asked that because, like you were saying, how everything happens for a reason, and I know you got hurt. Then, like I said, I thought you got paid from getting hurt. So I figured, you didn't get that angle, but you probably would have not got as much money as you got.
No, I would have got $1 million if there's one name. One name. Now let's back up a minute here, just so you can see how I turn negatives into positives. Because any of you who live in the past or live in a negative, you need to stop. Because it's never going to help you. When I left WCW for the WWF, I was owed close to $1.3 million. Well, WCW wasn't going to give me all my money and let me go to the WWF. They didn't care that I was going to be 46 years old. They didn't care. They said, you want to leave, you take 50%. Well, I had a lawsuit, too, on the merchandising, because they were so fucked up, where Vince in the WWE is so amazing. Yeah. I wish I had my whole career there. I'd be making money forever. Yeah. But I didn't. But I agreed to sign off the lawsuit, which I know people have made crazy money off of that. And I had to sign off $500,000 to get the money that, partial money. Yeah. But I left on paper a guaranteed $478,000 to go make $450 guaranteed, right? On a spot that if I just would have taken all the money, everything's if I would have. But that's $500,000 there. The lawsuit is probably easily worth another $500,000. Yeah. And there was another one I was going to say, I can't remember, but there's been like probably $2 million that I've gone one way instead of the other. Now, I've made millions of dollars too. Right. But do you hold it down like, oh, I should have, I wish I should have, oh my God. Fuck that. Yeah. Go move on and go on to the next thing. Because you made it once, you can make it again.
Why do you think wrestling gets such a bad rap? And in your opinion, is it well deserved?
What does that mean? Wrestling gets such a bad rap. Do you mean from marks who don't like it?
The news, period.
Oh, come on. There's the people who really respect wrestling because of the art. Yeah. And I know a lot of people in Hollywood who are top people who really respect it because they understand it's its own art form. I mean, think about it. We're going out there in that ring. Everybody knows it's predetermined, or what they say the word's fake, when you can't fake gravity. You can't fake what you're going through. I mean, I've been in worse fights in the ring than I've been in anywhere. And I grew up in the nightclub business. I mean, the fights we've had out there trying not to kill each other, but trying to make it look real and tell a story. I mean, it's an art form like no other, and it's live. So you can't pull it back. So, to me, the people who don't get it, fuck them.
It's true, that's what I say.
Fuck them. You know, you're never going to convince them.
But it's just like, why, you know, I don't understand why they have, like, it's like they have a vendetta against best wrestling or something.
And those people, Lester, I have no time for. Just like I don't have time
But it makes me wonder, like, what is it about wrestling that, you know?
It's almost like maybe they think, you're getting over on these people. This is all a gimmick.
Oh yeah,
you know.
It makes sense too.
Hey, dude, let me tell you the best story ever. Now I'm so glad I did it today. Ready to Rumble is loved by so many people. Now certain people hate it. I don't give a fuck about them. It's the people like Jim Kelly, all-pro 11-time quarterback for freaking Buffalo Bills, who calls me at Christmas time with a great buzz on going, DDP. Seen this 100 times. I'm here with my family. We're laughing our ass off. It's a great movie. You know, he's just a great guy, and people would take it for what it's worth. But I'll be Diamond Dallas Page at 42 years old forever in that movie, and that gives people a lot of fucking joy. That movie, you know. And if I would have,
you know, Kanyon had the belt, right?
Kanyon,
he got the belt, the King belt.
Kanyon was he went and choreographed everything.
I know, he told me.
Did he tell you who else won with him on that?
Huh?
No, he was no one at the time. Nobody knew who he was. Shane Helms was David Arquette. Him and Shane Helms worked out that entire match. So by the time I got there, you know, it was just like, it was all laid out.
Kanyon was good, man.
Kanyon was awesome, man. He was awesome.
I don't believe he like, they didn't
killed
notice
himself,
him.
Man.
No, I didn't believe that they didn't use him, like, see how much he, you know.
God, he was so passionate.
He was bringing people, he was teaching people, he was awesome. Giving to the business. And
he was awesome.
You let him go? Oh my God, yo.
You know, Chris fed into there's people who feed into the negative. Like, there's certain people who go, I'm bipolar, but I'm working on it. And there's other people who go, I'm bipolar, and that's why I'm like this.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you. No, you're not. You're feeding into that because, you know, you can either feed into the negative or you feed into the positive, you know?
It's true. I seen you host a WCW DVD. How did that come about?
Oh, that was awesome. You know, and it was interesting, too, because when they first called me to do it, you know, for obvious reasons, I'm not like one to just jump on anything that WWE is going to do with me, you know? And they said, hey, we want you to come in and host this. Now, first I was like, oh, great. And then, wait a minute, let me see the copy. Because anyone who is a WCW fan, and that's who they're primarily selling to. They're trying to grab those fans who really don't watch their product.
Yeah.
But they're also wanting to, and hopefully by watching that, pulls them back in and see, look who we're doing now, you know? But they're also trying to grab that WWF old school fan who might have gone off and come back.
Yeah.
But they want to grab that brand new WWE fan and make it all one fan. Yeah. So to me, I know that if you watch the rise and fall of WCW, they put us over and then they just bitch slap us. You know, because history is written by the winners. And I dig that.
Well,
and
true.
When they sent me the script, I didn't call them back. And they called me up and go, like 3 days later, Michael, a sweetheart guy, the producer, what a great guy. And I'll never question him really again because he was so awesome. And he said, did you get the script? I said, yeah, I got it. He said, what do you think? I said, I don't think you want me to do this. He goes, what are you talking about? No, everybody, they really want you to do this. I go, well, I'm not saying a lot of shit you wrote here. He goes, what do you mean? And I said it again. I said, listen, I get that history was written by the winners, but I'm not backing that up. Because, you know, there was like a almost 2-year period, we kicked your fucking ass. And I'm not reading that in this. You know, and I understand we fucked up and fell down after that, but you know what? That other shit's got to be in there.
Yeah.
He goes, well, change it then. I said, okay, and I wrote shit, and then they wrote it back, it was awesome. And then the matches, I thought they did an amazing job with it. And I wanted the fans to know that, hey, it's a crime to try to fit 6 years in 9 hours or 8 hours. But hey, this could be number one. So this could be volume 1. If you buy this, you might have volume 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So people keep asking, when's volume 2? When's volume 2? I'm like, hey, when they
That's
tell
what they
me,
need to do, stretch it out like that, make it be much
when
better.
they tell me, they know they gotta add so much footage there, man.
Yeah,
and now there's a lot of pressure in WWE right now. You know, I don't feel it, or we don't feel it, but they're doing a whole new network. I mean, Oprah is falling on her face.
I know everybody's
with
saying
the network, you know, and that's Oprah.
I know.
So you know, to me, I hope they get it. I hope WWE gets it because there's so many things they could do, and I think it's a whole different.
Get what, the network?
I think they do their own network.
You want them to get the network?
I would love to see them get their own channel. You know, because I just think there's so many things that they could do off of that. And
so if they get their own network, it means they're gonna have their own channel. So all their wrestling will be on that channel.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know because when you really look at how you position channels and stuff, like USA has a huge market share. TBS has a huge market share. So Oprah's market share went boop 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 boop, and then these people. From here to here, they gotta pay for it. Only these people get it for free.
Yeah.
You know, so not that Oprah's people all wouldn't pay for it, but you know, to a regular family, an extra friggin' $6, $8, $10 a month, it means something. So you know, obviously, and she's also trying to do like everything's good, and the #1 shows are everyone's arguing. Conflict.
Yeah.
You know?
Jerry Springer. How do you feel when told wrestling is fake?
I laugh.
You laugh?
I laugh when I hear wrestling's fake.
It
Really?
pisses me off.
No, I don't get pissed.
It pisses me off. You don't know. I get into argument behind you.
But they're gonna say that to you, like they say, wrestling's fake. What do you watch that shit for?
And I'll shut them up real quick.
But they ain't Nestor.
Let me slap you in your face and show you how fake wrestling is.
Nestor.
Straight up.
Nestor. No one's gonna say that to me. They never said it to me like that. They say it with a backhand thing. I'll say, listen, you can't fake gravity.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden I get it because I'm like with DDP yoga, my fist coming through the O and boom, stamping it. It ain't your mama's yoga. That makes them laugh.
That's nice.
Now,
I didn't even notice that.
Now it pulls. Now they're going to listen to me.
Yeah.
And when I say wrestling, you know, a lot of people say wrestling's fake. Can't fake gravity. They laugh. Now I pull them in. Then I start to explain. That's what I want to say. I was starting to say this before. Ready to Rumble. When we did the movie thing, like we're promoting the movie coming out. So there's like one interview after another, just like this. And every person comes in and asks me pretty similar questions. But there's one jerk off that you can just tell he hates, like you were talking about before, hates wrestling. And he's saying, so, wrestling, blah, 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 blah. And he said something about being fake. And I said, I could tell that I wanted to like set him off his edge a little bit. You know? So I said, so let's say his name was Barry, because I can't remember. I said, Barry, let me ask you a question. Let's just break off wrestling for a second. Do you like Broadway? He said, of course. Awesome actors there, man. Like the best, the cream of the keys is the cream of the crop. I said, exactly. I said, what's your favorite Broadway play? Your favorite? He said, Phantom of the Opera, hands down. Dude, I've seen that at least 3 times. That's awesome. I go, listen, I don't want to ruin this for you, but the guy really doesn't get burnt with oil.
It's true. I knew you was going there. It's true.
Doesn't get burnt with oil.
It's movies, you know? Like you don't go to the movies?
Hey,
you know?
And the bottom line is, you know the finish of that play every single time you sit down. I said, when you watch our matches, you don't.
You don't.
Because it changes every single time.
Yeah, so it's actually even better than the play. Yet you will still sit there and watch the play, right? Right? Like, come on, man. People, you know what it is? People, well, what I notice in this world, a lot of people talk out the ass. They really.
Yeah. You want some wine?
Yeah. Yeah, people, to me, talk out the ass, and you know, they talk without knowing sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
How did you and Eric Bischoff get so cool?
From a pull-apart fight.
From the fight? Yeah, I heard you talk about
again, you know, it's a... When you have conflict with somebody, I've never really had a conflict with someone that I didn't fix it with and move forward with. I mean, I've never really, you know, with Bischoff, it was just we were both fucked up. And then the next morning he came to not confront like, hey, let's fight, confront. He came to like, okay, listen, I heard I was a real asshole last night.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I mean, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. He says to me, I heard I was a real asshole last night. There's 2 things we can do. One, he goes, shake my hand and let's, you know, call it a day. And he goes, or, and he pulled his front 3 teeth out and said, or punch me in the mouth. Whatever you think works. And I just popped, you know, because I run nightclubs for a living. That's my deal. I throw fuckers out. They got to come back in. Long story short, you know, I said, I'm going to try to shake your hand. And then he tried out with WCW with me. But instead of having long gray hair, like he's got that gray hair, he had that gray hair at 20 years old.
Yeah, I know.
And, you know, I just says like, you know, I knew it was him right away, but I never put it over because I had no time. He was really late because he's flying in from Minneapolis. His plane was late, delayed, all that shit. I got to get the TV. So I like grab him, I go, dude, we got to go. We got to get in the booth and, you know, we got to do this. So I know Dusty had said to me.
Y'all announcing together, right?
Well, we were doing, we're watching the 2 monitors. Yeah. And now he's doing the play-by-play and I'm doing the color for the play-by-play. And Dusty had said to me, I want to make sure he does the play-by-play, you do the color, let him call the moves, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me if I remembered the guy. He asked me if I remembered him from the AWA, and I really didn't. I thought it was this guy named Mick Karsh, who was another guy I remember from AWA. And he said, well, he's Jim Hurd's boy. And he was the pizza guy, you know, he's trying Domino's Pizza or some shit like that. And, you know, there was no love lost between him and Dream. And he said, listen, if you like him, help him out. If you don't, just bury him. I mean, that's how it was, you know, when he didn't say those words, that's what he meant. Yeah. And, of course, I know Bish. And I remember the guy who pulled his teeth out and said, punch me in the mouth, whatever you think works. And
so you liked him.
I liked him. I liked him. But Bish don't know that.
Yeah.
He finds out he's working out and he looks at his wife, she's pregnant with their second kid. He's like, oh my God, we're toast. It's like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm doing it with Diamond Dallas Page. She goes, so? She goes, the fight, AWA. She's like, oh no. And she's become one of my closest friends over the years. So when we're in there, I realize he doesn't know how to do the play-by-play. So at some point I go, okay, listen, they want you to do this. So why don't you say collar and elbow lock him? Pull him into a headlock where he goes for a top wrist lock. Oh, he pulls in a hammerlock, big elbow, boom, he bumps and powders to the floor. I'll take up there. So I literally laid out what he said for 9 different takes. I go, okay, I think he's got it. Let's go. Because I'm in a hurry to get the fuck out of there, you know? I'm not even thinking anything else but that. And he goes, hold on. Can I ask you a question before we start? I go, yeah. He goes, do you remember me? I go, yeah, you're the guy I was got in a fight with the AWA. He goes, just check it.
That's cool though, man, because that shows that, you know, you're not an asshole, man. You could have been an asshole, you know?
Oh, I could have buried it.
Yeah, that's good, man. It shows the type of person you are, man.
But,
you know?
But you're right, it does. But
it does.
It would have changed destiny.
History.
Oh my God. History. It would have changed destiny on so many different levels.
Wow.
I'm glad I made that choice.
Wow.
Because when he used to tell me, I'm going to knock Vince McMahon out, I used to think, are you smoking crack? This is Vince McMahon, dude. You don't fucking just knock him the fuck out and beat him. But he put him on the rope for a couple standing 8 counts.
Can you speak about Kanyon, the things he done for the business, and why you think he did what he did?
Why he killed himself?
Yeah. Really, first speak about what he's done for the business.
I don't know what he did for the business as much as he did for young guys. And that, forget the fact of being gay, because it was never like that with him. You know, I didn't know idea he was gay. You know, but he helped a lot of just guys in general help their goal, or live their dream, I should say. And, you know, I did it too, you know, in and around him. I'll give you the best examples. Billy Kidman. He told me about Kidman. You know, this guy, what a great worker. He can do all this crazy stuff. I'm like, dude, I helped like 30 guys get their jobs, 20, whatever the number was. I can't go to Bischoff with another guy. So Gary goes, just watch this finish. And it was a shooting star finish.
Yeah.
Puts the VCR in, I go, wow. Never seen that before. No one had ever done it yet, right? I take it out. Bischoff lived on the other hill, across the street on the other side of the hill. I walked over the hill, I had it all queued up. I sat down on the couch, he's watching TV, wait for a commercial. I go, I want to see an amazing finish.
Good way to do it.
Just like that.
Good way to do it.
And he goes, sure. I popped it in, he went, wow. He goes, play that again. Play it again, he goes, so what's he doing? I go, looking for a job. Bishop offered him $400 a week, bring him down, get him on the fundamental deal. And so Chris was really, you know, he knew talent. And when I came, I shouldn't say I did, because we came up with it together, and it was probably mostly his idea if I look back on it. When I was doing the King of the Ring for WCW, Lord of the Rings, it was called the Battle Bowl. And right after that, when WWF, I think, sued the WCW, and they couldn't use it anymore. But there's only 3 guys that ever win it: Dusty Rhodes, Sting, and me. And when Dusty Rhodes and Sting won it, it was every top guy in the business. When I won it, it was like every mid-card, the lower guy. But that's a way of saying, fuck you. Let's see if you can get that over. But Kanyon and I came up with, because we never knew who it was going to be in the end. And we came up with the triple diamond cutter finish. And it ended with diamond cutter 1, 2, 3, diamond cutter 1, 2, 3, diamond cutter 1, 2, oh, kick out. Whoever that person was bing, bang, boom, couple false finishes, end with throws me in the ropes, do-si-do, he goes over the top rope, I win. So I have no idea who the people are going to be in this match. And I finally tell Kevin Sullivan that night, because it's all tag teams, one tag team after another, and those tag teams move to the next. Yeah. Without Kanyon doing this with me and laying this out with me, I don't think I ever really would have saw it from all these different levels, really, because he was such a smart motherfucker when it came to the business, you know. And to go back to where it finally comes down to me laying the match out, and Arn Anderson saying, okay, well, you sound like you got better than me, go tell the guys. Oh, you want me to go tell them I'm going to beat them all? Awesome. So went out there and did that, and the last guy is Barbarian. who's always been like the greatest guy to me. But Barbarian would be maybe top 2 guys, him and Ming, on the planet, baddest motherfuckers ever.
I heard about him.
You know, and so I gotta tell Barb, you know, at the end, you know, you kick out, a couple of false finishes, you come at me, boom, do-si-do, you go over the top rope, and he looks at me and he goes, no, brother. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, and this is Barbarian, you know? I take your finish. I go, Barb, I go, you don't have to do that, man. I go, you already took it early. He goes, no, brother. It's your time. I take your finish. I mean, I gave him a big hug, man. And there was times where I know, I just say, Bish, you know, was looking for people who's gonna get rid of, and I was like, that motherfucker, he ain't, as long as I'm here, that fucking guy. I mean, he was, Barbarian was one of the nicest guys, and he was, I mean, his stand-up cat, always really, really, really polite to Kib, and he was just the aces guy, and always has a huge spot in my heart, big time.
Cool. Can you elaborate on how does the Legends contract work?
Yeah, there really isn't any big deal with it. I give you some money, and then they ask you to do stuff occasionally, you know? I like it because...
So you could still do whatever you want?
For what I've never had anything...
You have a Legends contract?
Yeah, I do. You know, that's the reason I say that.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I thought you had a Legends contract.
But, from what I understand, anything I'm doing, like when I went to WrestleMania, I called up Johnny and said, hey, can I do these things? Before I book anything, he's like, sure, go ahead. I'm like, okay, cool. If I was there, I worked cool. The Wrestle Reunion Festival. While I was down there, I worked one for Nash, and then I worked one for WWE.
So do they pay you on a regular basis for that Legends contract, or just if you work for them?
No, when you work, you get paid.
You get paid. That's it.
But the positive thing to me too again is I'm back.
The way it sounds like Legends contract, as if you have a contract forever and you get paid for them. From them. That's what it sounds like.
Well, I don't know if it's a contract. I just want to look at the Legends deal.
Legends deal, okay.
And you're also featured in different things. I guess they have, and because they have a lot. They're the best marketeers on the planet. You know,
any little thing they could use you for it, basically.
Whatever they need me for, as long as it's within the scope that makes me look where I'm at. And right now.
As long as it's benefiting you.
No, but at the same time, I would never do anything to look bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just. I mean, I have a company that. This company has blown into a multi-million-dollar company now, so I'm not going to do anything to discredit DDP Yoga because that's the brand, and I got like over 21 guys in WWE doing my workout, so, and it's helping them, it doesn't cost them anything. I'm just giving back the way, guys give to me.
All right, we'll be right back.